morning guys, it's currently 5 a.m. and I think it's probably the coldest day of the year so far. Of course out for the 5 a.m. steps, just 5 or 10 minutes or so just to wake up. Back to my desk in a minute, probably grab a coffee beforehand just to wake up a little bit more. I had a big New Year's Eve on, of course, the 31st, and I didn't get back till kind of 3 a.m, 4 a.m, so a little bit behind on sleep in that regard, but back on it today. So that's the plan of action for this morning. Get back, finish these steps, make myself a coffee, get to the desk and then start working for a couple of hours. Right, so weather update, it's still absolutely freezing. Just ticked off a 3-hour work block in the morning, came out for a few steps. There's literally people over there canoeing in the Thames, which I have no idea how they're doing. I reckon it's probably about minus 50 degrees at the moment. So yeah, finish these steps. Meal one is in the works, which would be 100 grams oats, 50 grams whey, 200 grams fruit and 20 grams dark chocolate. That'll go in just before leaving for training. We've got an upper session today with my lovely housemate, so I'll take you along for that. And all round, just good vibes so far. Right, so the part you've probably all been waiting for, the full upper session breakdown. This is my second upper rotation, but both have near enough identical structures, just slightly different movements. This is my first session of 2026. I'm pretty sure I'm now fully recovered from my New Year's Eve antics, apart from the humongous spot on my face, which I'm pretty fuming about. But again, that's my fault for missing a load of sleep and spending the 1st of January recovering. First movement in the session is the side X incline press. Fantastic choice in my opinion for the pec, as it's stable and converging. To be honest, the way the machine is set up and the movement pattern arcs, it's not as inclined as people think. And so it's important to keep the arch in your back relatively minimal to line the elbow path and upper pec fibres. 2 sets here, with the first being a 4 to 6 rep set, and then the following being a 6 to 10. So a slight back off, but still pretty heavy in terms of rep range. A similar setup for the second movement being the Nautilus shoulder press. Neutral grip here is just to bring in a little bit more of the upper pec. And again, like the first one, it's a nice stable converging movement that has the propensity to be loaded heavy and progressed every week. And that's kind of the entire pressing for the session. From here we move into side delts, so working with a cuffed lateral raise. Cuffed here to eliminate any loss of force that we'd lose through the wrists if you were to hold a handle. And again here, the cues that I'm thinking about are moving the elbows as far away from the midline of the body as well as up to the side. A slight pause in the short just to standardise reps, and again, like the 2 movements that we had prior, just 2 sets here before moving on to the pull section of the session. We start here with a single arm lat pull down, slight crunch into the working side. Again, making sure we get that lat fully short, and just generally whilst working through the movement, we're thinking about maximising that distance between the elbow and the hip at the top, and then in the short, we're minimising that distance. I only do 1 set here as unilateral work tends to completely batter me. And realistically, if I'm progressing that every week, I know I'm probably growing muscle. The second pull movement is a chest-supported prime row. Elbow path biasing the upper back as we are arcing from a low to high range of motion. And you'll notice that this machine allows me to load plates on different pegs. This basically manipulates the resistance profile, so in this instance, having most of the plates at the top is making it heaviest in the stretch, and then it drops off in the short. 2 sets here, and we also finish off with 2 sets on a preacher curl for biceps, 2 sets of an overhead extension for triceps, which by this point I'd snapped my tripod, so you're just going to have to believe me. If you've got any questions on the session or want a little more detail, feel free to give me a DM on Instagram, and again, happy to run through anything that perhaps you have questions about or would like to know a bit more about how we program upper sessions. I'll do a similar video covering the lower session, but for now that's basically the session. It's relatively short. I think we ticked this off in just under an hour, bearing in mind there were 2 of us as well, so switching between each person takes a little longer. And yeah, it's just a fun session really.